Stand by. Here comes the intro.
No one can make an intelligent decision without being properly informed. This is why this world wants to control the media. This is why media hype can take you up, take you down. So you don't know anymore who's really good, because the media can make a wicked man look good and make a good man look evil. That is why.
Good afternoon. You are watching a very special edition of the Final Call News Hour. I am your host, Herman Muhammad. The Final Call News Hour is the partner of the Final Call newspaper, which you can visit at digital.finalcall.com. The Final Call newspaper is the most widely circulated black-owned and operated publication not only in this country but in the world, and also serves as the communications organ for the Nation of Islam. Again, my name is Brother Herman Muhammad, and I am just so honored. For one, let me tell you about the issue of the paper. I'm just excited. I don't want to get ahead of myself. Let me tell you about the issue of the paper. The current issue is entitled Big Ballin'. This is volume 36, number 34, and it reads Big Ballin', and it's all about entrepreneurship, and our brother, who's a little bit over the top, but our brother, nevertheless, Brother Lavar Ball, and his great entrepreneurial endeavor, trying to bring about the BBB, or the Big Ballin' brand, to a shoe store near you. Now again, I am so very honored this evening, or this afternoon, this sunny afternoon. Well, it was rainy, but now it's sunny, in Denver, Colorado, because I have my big brother from Indianapolis, Indiana. He's the student minister and representative of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, Brother Nuri Muhammad.
Brother Herman.
Praise be to Allah, brother. Praise be to Allah. Now we gonna get right into it, man, because Brother Nuri is in the city to deliver the keynote address at an event that we're having at the Auraria campus. Now this event is being put on by Black Campus Ministries, the African Student Union, and the Nation of Islam Denver Study Group, and it's called the Denver Black Business Expo. And Brother Nuri is going to deliver a power-packed subject entitled Pooling Our Resources from Begging to Building, from Nothing to Nation Tomorrow. The doors open at 1 p.m. The event starts at 2. There's a $15 donation that we're asking, but trust and believe, it'll probably be the best $15 you've ever spent. So all praise is due to Allah. I want to get right back into it, brother, because we talked about this event a little bit, Denver Black Business Expo, and the question could be asked, and I'm gonna get into LeVar Ball. You know what I'm saying? But the question could be asked: why this particular subject? What is it about the do-for-self aspect of the teachings of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad that our people really need to pay attention to? Why should they come to this event, big brother?
Well, of course, one of the things that we have heard from the master teacher, the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad, and he echoed this 70 years ago. He said to us in the 50s, he made the revolutionary statement that to us as a people, do for self.
Yes, sir.
Or suffer the consequences.
Yes, sir.
Well, here we are 70 years up from not following that divine counsel, advice, and of course we know as a believer, you know, when you are a believer in a messenger of God, when he makes a suggestion from his mouth, that really is an order from God.
Yes, sir.
So when he said to us, do for self or suffer the consequences, we did not do for self. So now we're saying, because we haven't done for self, we have continued to suffer the consequences. And some of those consequences are we're still the last hired. We're still the first fired. We still in the white man's social, political, economic system. Black people still have to work twice as hard to get half as much. We found recently by a study done by one of our great thinkers in our community, Dr. Jawanza Kunjufu, Brother Herman, he did the calculation and found this, that if a black and a white man go to the exact same school, take the exact same course, get the same degree, graduate the same year with the same grades, when both of that black and that white student go into the economic system of America, that black man will only earn 60% the paycheck that his white counterpart. Now, isn't it something that if you take the 60% and convert it into a fraction, 60 over 100, you use the 10 as the common denominator,
yes,
it
sir.
turns into 3 over 5.
Yes, sir.
Is that 3/5?
Ain't that something?
What do we call 3/5 of a human being in the Constitution? So even though we celebrate and jump for joy and got the nerve to call this funny looking white man named Abraham Lincoln, he's got if you want to make any donation, giving up three of them Abraham Lincolns to come to this event tomorrow, he's got to be one of the ugliest crackers on the money. Donate, get rid of him. But they call him the great emancipator. But even though they amended the 3/5 of a human being on paper,
yes, sir.
reality is if that black and white student go to the exact same school, get the exact grades, same degree, leave the school, go in the same economic system, that black man only gets 3/5 the paycheck.
Right, absolutely.
So we can't continue, brothers and sisters, to blame the white man for 95% of our problems and still spend 97% of our money with him.
Ain't that something?
No, I think it was Billie Holiday, brother Anwar, maybe a little bit before my time, but you might know something about that. Brother Anwar's in the building. Brother Anwar's in the building. He knows a little something about.
He got the camera.
He's a OG, triple OG.
Yes, sir.
But you remember Billie Holiday? Didn't she say "Mama may have"?
Right.
And who else?
And Papa may have.
But God bless her.
Child.
Well, we need to do a remix.
Come on.
Where's DJ Khaled at when you need him? Shoot, the Jews might have.
Come on.
And Chinese people, but God bless a people that have their own. So
Yes, sir.
it is not only is it the thing to do to get justice, but working for yourself is just a grown man and a grown woman decision.
Yes, sir.
And unfortunately, we really didn't pay attention. The Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan exposed to us almost all of our mothers, grandmothers. They all had us growing up saying at night on our knees with our hands closed at the edge of our bed, we all learned to say the Lord's Prayer.
Yes, sir.
But we never looked at the Lord's Prayer as a scripture or a script for life.
Right.
And in it, if we would have been paying attention, we would have been listening to ourselves, ask God to help us to do for self.
Yes, sir.
Didn't we say in the Lord's Prayer, give us this day our what?
That's daily bread.
And now, I don't know how it is in Denver, but in almost every city in America, when they talk about money, there's different synonyms they use for money. Skrill, bank,
one of them's bread.
Is one of them bread?
Bread, brother. Absolutely.
So if we
Absolutely.
convert daily bread into money, then give us this day our daily bread. Well, the white man don't give daily bread on a
Right.
job. He give weekly and bi-weekly bread.
That's
the only
right.
man that can make daily bread is somebody that's doing for themselves.
Yes, sir.
So I would say to us that, you know, taking it even a little bit more deep and spiritual, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan said in the new educational paradigm message that he gave the world, he said this, he said, I was looking up the definition of happiness. And Brother Herman, listen to this. He said, no, not in the dictionary. He said, but I consulted myself. I said, oh, come on, bro, minister.
Say it again.
I said, I was looking up the definition of happiness. He said, no, not a day. I consulted myself. And when he said it, I was sitting there and I started thinking, well, who in the hell is Webster anyway?
Right.
Surely
right.
I'd much rather hear a divine definition from God's man than a devil definition from some dude named Webster I don't know nothing about.
Absolutely.
So he said this about happiness. He said, happiness comes when you have found your purpose for living and you are fulfilling that purpose. That person will then have an unspeakable joy. So what he's telling us, Brother Herman, and to those in the audience, he's telling us that real happiness doesn't come from filling full your pocket. Real happiness comes from fulfilling your purpose. Then his teacher, the master teacher, the most honorable Elijah Muhammad, said that this is the simple formula that you can employ to find out what your purpose is. He said what you love to do and what you do well is more than likely what you're born to do.
Yes, sir.
In other words, your purpose is that single activity of life that you do well with the least amount of effort. Your purpose is the thing that you wake up for and to do without a need of an alarm clock. See, when you're operating inside of purpose, you don't say when you're on your way to carry out that task or perform that service or do that work or sell that product, you don't say, I got to go to work, I got to go sell this. You say, I get to.
Yes, sir.
Because when you're operating in purpose, you don't see obligation, you see opportunity.
Right.
You'll know you're in your purpose if somebody gave you $100 million. And as soon as they gave you the money, you never showed up to do it again. But if you're operating in your purpose and someone gives you $100 million, you're going to figure out how to make that an investment capital to make your purpose even bigger for the world. So I'm saying that to say this to those that are coming out to this conference. You will be happier doing for yourself, operating in your purpose, making $25,000 a year, than working for your enemy or doing a job that you don't really like, making $300,000 a year.
Yes,
so at the end of the day, we should have more respect for a man that does business for himself than another man that does business given the prime of his life and the prime of his day every day to help uphold the system of white supremacy.
Praise.
So we hope that we would understand that part of that big consequence the most honorable Elijah Muhammad was talking about is that we are investing the prime of our life and the prime of our day into giving of our time, talent, treasure, mind, money, and muscle to uphold white supremacy in some shape, form, or fashion.
Right.
So the hell we in is partially due to us clocking in to help keep the white man's world going.
Yes, sir. Absolutely, man. Let me give a shout out to Brother Michael D. Muhammad and A. Souls in the building, and I saw the black firefighters in the house already. So we're building up momentum to get this thing popping tomorrow at 2 p.m. And, let me just speak, because why Brother Nuri, man? Brother Nuri, as you can see, he just demonstrated some powerful wisdom in regards to why we should do for self. And the brother, man, I'm blown away because he's extremely dynamic, if you can't tell already. And on top of that, he's uniquely qualified to teach on this subject. Brother, like I said in my intro of him, hails from the great city of Indianapolis, Indiana, aka Naptown.
Yeah, the Nap.
And he has done some very powerful things in that city. So Brother Nuri, let me ask you a little bit about that, because I've heard about the complex where the mosque and the barbershop and the beauty salon is. Tell me a little bit about that, how that got started, how you and the believers were able to accomplish such a monumental task.
Well, I'm so glad, Brother Herman, that you said you and the believers.
Yes, sir.
Because it really is teamwork that will make a dream work. And it was the product of a need for our community, and we desired to show our people an example of what do for self looks like.
Right.
So we built we got a building that was literally a strip mall. And we gutted it, left just the 3 exterior walls, put our own new plumbing, our own new underground electrical service, our own three-phase power and came in, put our own 6-ton and 4-ton and 3.5-ton and 2.5-ton young three-phase units on the roof.
Yes, sir.
And put our own bulletproof glass in the windows, granite floors, etc., etc. And we did all of that with all black contractors.
Praise.
We only had one white contractor for exterior windows. All praise is due to Allah.
I gotta give a hand clap. It's a standing one-man ovation up in here, brother.
But
man,
anybody that's ever tried to do, hell, if you tried to build a garage,
right?
No, if you tried to build a doghouse and tried to go with all black contractors, you know, see, we unfortunately, because of us being disconnected from our original names, culture, language, more ways, folk ways, norms, religion, and God, we don't have the mental or the moral strength that we once had as a people.
Right.
So almost every brother that you know that is a carpenter, an electrician, a pipe fitter, a plumber, whatever skill set they have, they also have a bad habit on the side.
Right.
So, you know, we have a major epidemic. But that is what happened with us, and we started off doing work in the community, and as a result of the work that we were doing in the community, there was a brother that came up that wanted to gift me. We grew up together. He wanted to gift me, him and his partner. They won the lottery 2 times in 6 months.
Okay.
So
how they do that?
I have no idea. I have no
Where
idea.
they do that at, brother?
They were getting ready to move out of town and decided that they wanted to gift me with a personal gift, and they offered me $100,000 as a personal gift. And I asked them, I said, I'd rather you not give me the money, but I'd rather you, if you would you sell us that building that you all bought in the auction and just take it off the price of the building? He said, brother, I don't think you understand what I'm saying. I'm saying, I'm getting ready to give you $100,000. He said, I said, I understand. He said, so basically you're saying donate it to the mosque? I said, yes, sir. He said, that's the reason why I even came to you in the first place.
Praise be to Allah.
So I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to do better than that. I'm going to deed the building to you. And you all can pay me back my money later. So we never went asking for a loan. We went refinancing property we already own. And then the believers, we already had raised $30,000 that we already had from being in the building we were in to do the project. And then we did a 6-month renovation project and raised another $50,000 on top of our loan to finish the project. And now, by the grace of Allah, we have a little over $950,000 in equity, almost $1 million in equity in the building that we own. So we really got a lot of room to do more, but we've been blessed. We have a barber and beauty salon.
Okay.
We have a restaurant called Eat to Live Cafe.
Of course.
We have our school, Muhammad University's in there, and we also have our mosque in the complex. And we had our daycare, and we're renegotiating it now, hoping somebody will take it over within the community.
Yes, sir.
But that is what happened, and we by Allah's grace, we employ maybe 12 believers there full time, and so far, by the grace of Allah, there has never been a month that we haven't paid all of our bills.
Right.
And there's never been a week where the employees there have not received their full paycheck.
Praise be to Allah.
By Allah's grace, mercy, and permission. So that is what happened to us.
That's beautiful.
And for us, and like I said, it was a team effort. And I thank Allah for the believers who trusted and believed enough to back the project. And by the grace of Allah, the sky's the limit.
Yes, sir. Praise be to Allah. And look, man, that testimony alone, ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, is enough really for us all to just shut this thing down and run to this event tomorrow at 2 p.m. because, I mean, brother, you know, there's that old saying that those who can't do teach. You know, but in the Nation of Islam, we have a whole different mentality. It's each one teach one. In fact, the only ones who can do are the ones who should be teaching. You know what I'm saying?
Well, that's the mathematics. You know, it's the if you watch the infomercial, and as you were watching that infomercial, if they're trying to sell you a program on weight loss,
Mm-hmm.
and the person that's marketing it, the program, is 112 pounds overweight,
Right.
in your mind you're going to say, if the program worked so good, why come it didn't work on you,
Right.
Mr. Inventor of the program? So, you know, it's written in the gospel of Big Mama, Brother Herman.
Right.
Not Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. Big Mama got a gospel too. And there's
The
some stuff
gospel
Big
of
Mama
Big
said that's just as true as Bible and Quran. And Big Mama said that birds of a feather,
Right. Flock together.
she knew what she was talking about. You lie down with dogs, you're going to
Hey,
get up with fleas. A family that
sure.
prays together
Stays together.
stays together.
Oh man.
And one of the other things that Big Mama used to tell us, she would always mockingly say, look here, boy, don't you go ask your bald head barber what you can do to keep from going bald head.
Hey man, don't be talking about bald head barbers.
Sorry about that, brother. But why would you ask your bald head barber what you can do to keep from going bald head? If he knew, then more than likely he wouldn't be bald headed
Right.
himself. So, you know, that great axiom and law that we once had before we were kidnapped, Caucasianized and
Right.
westernized and Christianized by this white man in North America.
Mhm.
What you just said, each one.
Teach one.
See, that was a formula we had when we were consistently doing that.
Yes, sir.
Each one teach one. But because we're so far behind on doing things the way we used to do things when we were in Africa, we have to change that now from each one teach one to each one teach some.
Praise.
And I would hope that the brothers and sisters here in Denver would come on out
Yes, sir.
and join us tomorrow. What is the address
The address, let me give it to you one more again. We're gonna give it to you.
to the event
Few
that
more
we're going to
times.
be having?
It's gonna be at the Tivoli Turn Hall. That's at 900 Auraria Parkway. That's at the Auraria campus in Denver. You can't miss it. You really can't miss it. And there'll be brothers supposed to guide you in if you get lost. So tomorrow at 2 p.m. Again, doors open at 1. And let me say this too in regards
right.
to this event.
Mhm.
There's vending
Vendors,
opportunities
that's right.
available. There's still vendors there, and they're going to be selling their wares. And these are all black business people.
Yes,
You know what I mean?
and-
This is the Denver Black Business Expo, and I know
That's
that's
right.
rare and unique for a city like Denver that is as white as snow. But that's how we doing it.
Well, it's the right thing to do. You know, you don't have to read a lot of books to find out the principles of black economics. Cooperative black economics is simple. Shop with your brother before you shop with another.
That's right.
So wherever you are in the viewing audience of this Final Call News Hour, there's an app that you can download on your phone. It's called Where You, W-H-E-R-E, the letter U, Where You. And this is an app. I don't know the inventors of it, but I appreciate and salute these brothers and sisters, because what this app allows you to do is to, in any city you're in, type in what kind of business you're looking for, and it will pull up every black business in that city that has that good or service for you to offer. Making it simple for us that we will be able to shop with our brother
Yes, sir.
before we shop with another.
Absolutely.
So come on out and let's do some business with our brothers and sisters and that are going to be set up at this vending expo. And with the help of Allah, we have a 5-point program that came from the most honorable Elijah Muhammad that will teach each one of us, whether we're rich or poor tomorrow, on how we can activate cooperative economics in our community and how we can develop the mindset and find certain tools to even engage in the building of our own business for ourselves. So come on out tomorrow, and we look forward to seeing you. And we will teach that one of those chief sciences that the slave master never wanted the slave to learn. Do you know in 1867 when they first agreed to have a black college and university, Howard University, before they allowed black people to open up this now known as a HBCU, or historically black college and university, do you know in the United States Congress they met about the establishment of Howard? And they said, yes, we'll let Negroes get higher education, but there's two things that must be in place. Number one, if Negroes get to go to college, they can't come to ours.
Right.
Number two,
Ain't that so?
when Negroes set up their own independent black universities, there's three things that they cannot teach or we'll shut it down. Number one, they can't teach the science of mating. When you go to school, you'll notice that we learn mating is, of course, it is the picking of the right spouse, the right mate, and it is the rearing of the offspring that come from it. So there's two sides of mating.
Yes, sir.
One's marriage, one's parenting. Never teach black people that. Number two, don't teach the Negroes warfare. Why? Because if they ever learn warfare, then they're going to calculate the historical offenses of us on them.
Right.
And maybe they won't be shooting each other for wearing red and blue.
Right.
But maybe they'll be shooting me for wearing white all the time, even when I'm naked. So we got to make sure they don't learn the science of warfare. Then the last thing, Brother Herman, that they said that the slaves could never learn at any institution of learning, and if we found out you were teaching it, we were shutting it down. And that was the science of finance. So we as a people right now, brothers and sisters, we bring in $1.1 trillion a year as black people in America. Do you know out of the over 200 nations on the earth, that would make the black people of North America as a nation the 8th richest nation on the planet?
Come on.
We have right now $500 billion a year more than the whole country of Mexico. $400 billion a year more than the whole country of Spain. Yet Spain has the exact same population of people we do, 46 million. But 46 million people in Spain, they got their own agriculture, their own land, their own schools, their own factories, their own government. They're running an entire independent physical country.
Right.
With $400 billion less than we have.
Wow.
We got 500 or $400 billion more than Spain. And in every black community right now, we are not a community, we are a colony. You got an Italian pizzeria. Is this true?
Right.
You got an Indian-owned cell phone shop. You got a Pakistani-owned convenience store attached to a gas station.
Right.
Is this true?
That's true.
You got a Jewish-owned pawn shop, a white man-owned payday loan spot, and a Korean-owned nail and beauty supply house. But black people don't own nothing but barbershop, beauty shops, and barbecue. The 3 B's. Not the Better Business Bureau, the barbershop, beauty shop, barbecue. That's all black people have. So it's something wrong with us.
Right.
We got $1.1 trillion, but we lack the sense that needs to go with those dollars.
Yes,
so we want to talk tomorrow on some of the daily habits that we can develop as a people, where we can begin to keep our money among ourselves, that we can start building from a colony into becoming a real live community.
Right. Man, praise be to Allah. And you only really need to listen what brother just said, because he just laid down some actual facts. Like the whole notion of being a free and independent is totally foreign to us as a people, because we have not internalized it. It's not a reality that we really think that we can do. But in terms of mathematically speaking, the way that it actually adds up, like Brother Nuri just expressed, we absolutely can do something for ourselves. One of the things that brother talked about, and this is a good segue, brother, I'm about to sell some books.
Yes, sir.
It's a good segue, but he said one of the things that they didn't teach us was the science of mating. So in my hand, this is a book by our brother Nuri Muhammad, Before You Say I Do.
Yes, sir.
Which deals with, of course, marriage and black male-female relationships, which is always the hot topic in the black community and always should be a hot topic in the black community. Brother, tell me, if you could, just give me the inspiration behind this type of work.
Well, there's 2 sources, I guess I would say. 3 sources, I would say. Number 1 is positive peer pressure.
Yes, sir.
From people always saying, when you gonna write a book, please write a book, please write a book, please write a book. It lets us learn at our own pace. We can look up work. I said, all right. Positive peer pressure is that what produced it. Secondly, and really firstly, the biggest thing of all was the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan operating kind of as a doctor would be reviewing a patient. And the patient in this case was us as a people in general, but us as a nation in specific. And he looked at us, checked our pulse, checked our blood work.
Right.
He did a little assessment of the health of us and what was giving us strength or what was causing us to be weak. And he said that the number one threat to our national security is divorce. I said, so you're saying that more effective than the FBI, ATF,
right,
Homeland Security, CIA, the Illuminati, the Bilderbergers, the Committee of 300, the 8 royal families, the Carnegies, the Assagens, the Rockefellers, the DuPonts, the Synagogue of Satan, the white man, the devil, whoever. More important than all them big old exterior enemies.
Come on.
This little bitty interior enemy called divorce is hurting us as a people more than. And do you know black people in America have the highest divorce rate of anybody on the face of the planet Earth?
Wow. Wow.
Black people in America have a 75% divorce rate.
Wow.
So it bothered me to hear the minister say that, and then to know that when you go and look back at our ancient images on the pyramids, wherever you seen one of our great ones, whether it was Alafun, whether it was Osiris, whether it was Horus, whoever we seen, we always seen next to them, well, you can tell, because next to them there's always a scraping,
right,
which means that they had shaved off something. And what we found out is what they cut off on the pyramids was the images of their wives that were next to them, because the white man didn't want us to know that male and female relationship as husband and wife was really our power base.
Wow.
So when you got home, it's supposed to be the recharge center. But now everybody's ending up in divorce, which says that before you get to divorce, you have to be going home getting drained.
Right.
By arguing, quarreling, fighting, and in disagreement.
Yes, sir.
And I'm gonna say this, that the last thing that a man wants to go home to after having a fight out there in this white man's world is to have to come home and do round 2 with his own wife.
Ain't that?
And the last thing that a black woman wants to do after going out there fighting in that white man's world is to come home and find a man laying on the couch that ain't been fighting at all. So it's bad news. So you don't want to have that. So that's kind of what inspired it.
Absolutely.
And what we put on the back of the book, it says that the mate that you choose will either help inspire you to grow into your greatness, or they will confine you to complacency. They will either be your other half, or they will make you half of yourself. Wow. So when we have bad male-female relationships, then we go home, which is supposed to be the recharge center. But if I'm tired trying to make money in the world, if I'm tired trying to free my people, and then I come home and I got to fight with you, now I'm supposed to be getting recharged, I'm tired again, then at a certain point, not only will I not have the energy for us anymore, but I'm not going to have the energy for the mission of saving my people, nor am I going to have the energy for the goal of economic independence for myself. So we thought that it'd be good if we can do something to help turn our homes back into the recharge centers, that we can go out in the world and be more effective in doing the work of God and achieving the goals of ourselves.
Yes, sir. Beautiful.
So NuriMuhammad.com is the easiest way to get that book.
And you know, Sister Jasmine just asked that question. How do I get that book?
NuriMuhammad.com.
So NuriMuhammad.com, Sister Jasmine.
And if you're in Denver, we have them with us right now.
We have them with us, and look, if you in Denver, and this is a promise that I'm gonna make to everybody who comes to this event, you can get you a copy of this book, provided they don't sell out, and brother will actually sign it for you.
That's right.
I'm getting mine signed today. I'm gonna beat the line. Praise be to Allah. So Sister Vicky's on, Brother Hashim's in the building. I saw Sister Shahada, Sister Tanya. Assalamu alaikum to everyone out there. Again, that is Before You Say I Do, and you can get it at NuriMuhammad.com. And that's just the first one, y'all. Because here's another one. Here is another one. Let this mind, let me get it right, be in you. I got to give y'all a good shot of that. Let this mind be in you. The Master, the Messenger, the Minister, by Brother Nuri Muhammad. Look, man, you can't get no better. I mean, the brother is doing for self. He's building in the city that he comes from. He's writing books on how to do it. Man, if y'all don't get to this conference tomorrow, Brother Nuri, tell us about this book. What was the inspiration behind this one?
Well, what had happened was, that's the universal introduction. It was a compilation of different subjects that we had taught and modifications to those subjects. But of course, as we've learned from the wise teacher Solomon, he said this. He said that as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. But it bothers me, and it should bother us, because the way we act like as a man driveth down the street, so is he.
Right.
As a man weareth, so is he.
Right.
Or as a man haveth in his pocket, so is he. Because we spend a whole lot of energy on those clothes we wear, the cars we drive, the house we live in, and the money we can put in our pocket, as if that is what really makes us what we are.
Yes, sir.
But on the back of that book, we put another quote: "Your life is your mind turned inside out." So my people are destroyed not from a lack of money, or from a lack of cars, or a lack of clothes. My people are destroyed from a lack
of knowledge. Yes, sir.
And let this mind be in you. And by putting the three at the bottom, the master, messenger, minister, these are three individual, independent entities, but if you were to open them up, they all have the same mind in them. But the writer Paul, when he said, let this mind be in you. Well, we know that Master Farad Muhammad, when he met the Honorable Elijah Muhammad accepted that invitation.
Right.
So the mind of the master went into the mind of his messenger, making him into Messiah. Now we have the minister with the Honorable Elijah Muhammad being told by him that I want you to line your mind up with my mind, that the two minds become one mind.
Yes, sir.
Well, we would have to bear witness that he accepted that invitation.
Yes, sir.
So if the mind of God was with the mind that Master Farad Muhammad possessed, and the invitation was accepted by the messenger to accept that mind of God, and then the messenger invited the minister to accept that mind of God, then let this mind be in you. The mind of God is in the master, the messenger, and the minister, and as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. But guess what? The minister hasn't pulled an individual to the side and said, line your mind up with my mind. He's pulled a whole nation.
That's right.
And he's asked us all to have his mind in us.
Yes, sir.
So this next phase of work, going from master, messenger, minister, we used to say it like this: it's nation time.
Right.
So it is time now for all of the parts of the body of Christ, whatever role you have in the nation, whether you are Brother Toenail, Sister Eyelash, whether you're Cousin Kidney or Uncle Lung, whoever you are in this body of Christ, it's time for us to have at the core of every cell of those body parts that we make up in our nation, the mind of the master, messenger, minister, which is the mind of God. So we've taken that on as a subject, and we've taught on from Bible, from Holy Quran, from science, from the Supreme Wisdom lessons, and from some of the examples from nature are in that book to show and prove how the mind of God that was accepted by the messenger from the master, from the minister,
yes, sir,
or from the messenger to the minister, how we too can accept that mind in us, where we can be operating as a nation of gods,
yes, sir.
one in the body of Christ.
Man, that's a beautiful thing. And man, I love that language, the body of Christ, because this isn't just a Muslim thing.
Well, that's
right.
Well, I got it. I got it from the name of the newspaper we did the interview with today.
Right.
You know, the newspaper today. Remember, brother Randy came over
from the body of
from
what?
the body of Christ.
Yes, sir.
A Christian newspaper, and we did a interview today, and inshallah it'll be coming out for the monthly right here in Denver in a few days.
Yes, sir.
With the help of God, the interview that we were able to do with our brother
Praise be
on
to
the
him.
root causes of what's wrong with black people.
Yeah, because we all in this together.
That's right.
No matter what so-called religion we profess.
That's right.
It don't matter when they pull us over whether we Muslim or we Christian, or we agnostic or we Jewish, right? So
They didn't ask Trayvon Martin
no.
whether you went to the hall or to the mosque. They didn't ask
Right.
Sandra Bland whether or not she read the Bible or the Quran. They didn't ask Tamir Rice, Freddie Gray, Eric Garner, Alton Sterling. They have never asked not one of the 3,000 black
Wow.
people that have been killed in the last 3 years by police officers and correctional officers. They didn't ask none of them what religion they were. No, your skin was your identity. And since it is our badge of dishonor to them, it should become the badge of honor for ourselves.
Absolutely.
So, we all in this together, whether we like it or not. And with the help of God, we hope that as we say in the nation, the best will come from the word and the rest will come from a whooping.
Absolutely.
The word has been here from the mind and mouth of the most brilliant teacher we've ever seen, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. And now with this one-eyed monster in the White House, this toddler president, this creature of the Quran running the country.
Yeah.
Don't you worry about it. The word been here, and now the whooping will show up. And the well-needed win, a.k.a. Donald Trump, is present.
Oh my goodness.
And with the word from the master teacher mixed with the wind of this dude,
Woo.
black people, we should be up on top of the world and united in love with each other in the next 15 minutes.
Oh my goodness. Big time. Look, look. Y'all think I'm getting a commission. I'm not getting a commission. But I'm gonna keep slinging these because I already know, even though I've perused, I haven't read them because I just got them today.
Yes,
but they're
sir.
definitely on my reading list, and you guys need to get them. Get over to this event tomorrow. You should have been over here earlier today, but it's all good. We didn't really push that. But tomorrow, we got two events actually tomorrow. We got our regular Denver Study Group mosque meeting. That's at 10 a.m. at the Knowledge Cafe, which is where we are right now, ladies and gentlemen.
What's that
brothers
address,
and sisters.
brother Herman?
The address is 1432 Poplar Street. The Knowledge Cafe, 1432 Poplar Street. Go on and like us on Facebook. Also, love and like Supreme Style Barbershop. I heard that's the best barbershop, I think, in the world.
That's yours, Brother Herman.
I think I heard that.
Yeah.
But yeah, go ahead and
Sound file.
So check in. But
So you are my bald head barber.
I'm your bald head barber.
Oh,
man. You know what I'm
I
saying?
picked the
I
wrong
had to
day
grow
for
something
my
on my
exam.
lip because people kept saying the same thing. I said, man, let me at least grow a little mustache and trim that up so they know I can do
Well,
something.
Brother Herman, you look good.
Praise
brother.
be to
you
Allah.
don't need no hair. Save you a little money.
But get these at NuriMuhammad.com. Look, I'm going to show y'all the NuriMuhammad.com. I'm not going to give you no excuses today. So if you can't make it to the event tomorrow, you can order this online, NuriMuhammad.com. And brother has mixtapes. He has a host of lectures on any subject you could think of, like the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, Brother Nuri, is teaching on. You know what I'm saying? Because he is his representative in the city of Indianapolis, Indiana. So go to NuriMuhammad.com. Now I wanted to talk about a little bit while we got a few minutes left. We can cover so much. Time just flies too. But this current edition of the Final Call newspaper. Now, as I said before, the Final Call newspaper is the most widely circulated black-owned and operated publication in the world.
That's right.
I mean, think over that. Think over that. It only costs $2.
That's right.
And that's just a donation just to keep the thing in print.
That's right.
And then to lace the brothers who are out there selling it and distributing it with a little something in their pocket.
That's
you know what I'm
right.
saying? But the mission of the Final Call newspaper, unlike any other publication on earth, is the total resurrection of the black man and woman in America and throughout the world. So you definitely need to pick up your Final Call newspaper from Running the Brothers. In fact, the brothers are out The mighty FOI in Denver are out pushing the final call, as well as
As we
tickets
speak.
and
That's right.
flyers as we speak. So if you need a ticket to this event, if you need your final call, grab one of them bow tie brothers and have them hook you up. But we're not gonna give you any excuses if you don't see them, because you could go to digital.finalcall.com and pick up the paper as well, and it'll go right to your tablet, your cell phone, your laptop, your desktop, whatever it is that you need. So we don't have any excuses today. But again, this current issue we want to talk about just a little bit, and I just want to get Brother Nuri's thoughts on our brother Lavar Ball, because on page, let me grab my paper. On page 2 of the Final Call newspaper, we get that story. Big ideas fuel a father's big baller brand and brash business sense. And nobody writes it like the Final Call, man. I mean, for real. So, Brother Nuri, first off, just give me your thoughts on Brother Lavar Ball.
Well, I'm so excited to see what the brothers and his father and his brothers are doing. I think that it is a proper and appropriate thing, and I love the challenge of the traditional system of white supremacy.
Right.
You know, one of the things too, and I was thinking about this. You know, there's a verse in the Holy Quran that says that I, Allah, am a verifier. So that means that Allah, sometimes through circumstances, events, and through words of other people, provides information that verifies whether or not you're doing the right thing at the right time.
Right.
Because you know, time dictates the agenda.
Yes, sir.
And the ministers did a 58-week lecture series on the time, and not what should be done or what could be done, but time and what
must be done.
Must be
Yes,
done.
sir.
And it wasn't a time and what must be said; it was a time what must be
done.
So it's actions that are, you understand. What I'm
Yes,
saying.
sir. Yes, sir.
But
yes, sir.
but if you do the wrong thing at the wrong time, it produces a disaster. If you do the wrong thing at the right time, that's called a mistake. Even if you're doing the right thing at the wrong time, you'll meet resistance. The only way to get success is you got to do the right thing
at the right time.
At the right time. So I wanted to applaud Brother Afsar and yourself, Brother Herman, and the coalition of the organizations that have come together to host this Black Business Expo.
Right.
Because I, Allah, am a verifier, as you will soon know.
Yes, sir.
We are here this week. This program has been organized months ago.
Yes, sir.
But look at the cover of the Final Call newspaper.
It. You know I seen it.
Now, the highest form of verification that can come from Allah is for him to communicate directly through his servant.
Right.
So the fact that we're doing a Black Business Expo with the subject "Do for Self,"
right,
from begging to building, from nothing to nation, and then the minister's article is called "Do for Self or Suffer the Consequences" in the centerfold, and on the cover of it is Big Ball, dealing with this brother challenging the economic system of white supremacy.
Go ahead, brother.
It says that to the organizers of this event that we are in step with time.
Yes, sir.
Because the real time is not dictated by the minute and the hands on your watch.
Right.
But the Son of Man in the Bible in Ezekiel is called the watchman.
Right.
I don't think you heard that. The watchman, the man is a watch. And
Yes,
the
sir.
man that is the watch is this man right here.
Yes, sir.
So you can tell time. Oh, you understand.
Yes, sir.
But
yes, sir.
so with this brother, to see his father and sport and play is really one of the strongholds of white supremacy. It is one of the greatest economic generators that fuel and keep white supremacy alive.
Right.
Someone told us as we were organizing for 10-10-15, and afterward we boycotted Christmas twice.
Right.
And someone said on the radio, they said, "Brother, what? I don't understand that. I mean, the police is the one doing the killing. Walmart ain't did nothing to us."
Right.
I said, "Well, brother, what you don't understand is that white supremacy is a system.
Right.
And a system is made up of many interdependent parts.
Right.
And when something is interdependent, not independent, interdependent means each one of them draws power from the other.
Yes, sir.
So when you look at the economic system of America. The economic system of America is the heart that pumps blood to the body of white supremacy.
Yes,
It is
sir.
the gas tank, the fuel line that gives fuel to the engine of white supremacy. So just like a car without a fuel line that can get fuel to the rest of the parts, when you cut off the white man's money, you cut off his ability to move white supremacy forward.
Right. That's
If you
right.
cut off the arteries of white supremacy, you cut off the blood supply. That means that it has to die.
Right.
So what this brother Ball is doing is he's threatening the bloodline.
Right.
He's threatening the fuel line. I seen a cracker on Twitter say, look at him, he's in blue and now Nike will never sign him.
Right.
Who in the hell, what the hell make you think we need Nike anyway?
Right, exactly.
Do you know what would have happened with Michael Jordan if he had done this right here?
Right.
Do you know right now, they pay Michael Jordan, Nike pays Michael Jordan $190 to $210 million a year off of Jordan brand. But they make $1.2 billion a year off of him and have been making this kind of money for 25 years.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
What could Jordan have done if he had stepped into the league
Right.
and said, no, I'm going big balling,
Right.
making my own shoe? And I mean, he would have been see, he can't leave behind a legacy of paper dollars to his children.
Right.
The dollar ain't worth nothing.
Nothing.
But he could have had factories,
Right.
hospital. He could have had a legacy where he could have been the most powerful black man that ever lived just off of playing basketball.
Oh my goodness.
If he had done what these brothers are doing right now. So it's the right thing to do. And I don't care if he don't sell but 10 pair of shoes,
Right.
it's still the right thing to do.
Absolutely.
And I'm gonna get me some. As soon as they ain't $4.95. I'm on standby. Cause I'm hoping that the brother was just doing that as a marketing campaign to get some attention.
I want some too, brother.
Come
Lavar
on down
Ball,
to
I want
half
some
that.
just a little bit, man.
Come on down to half that, and you gonna catch me rocking them.
Yeah, I never owned no $200 pair of sneakers. Much
I
less
have.
400.
I have, but
I
400 is not. And really, you know what kills me is that at the same time that we will condemn him for even selling a shoe for that much, I haven't heard nobody talking about Gucci.
Right, or Versace, or any of these.
Do you know how much Louis Vuitton,
Man,
Stan Smiths cost?
man.
I can go buy some Stan Smiths from Adidas for $60.
Mm-hmm.
They got some Louis Vuitton versions of the Stan Smiths. I went in the store the other day. They're $700.
See?
Some tubular Adidas that cost
See?
$80. Now they look the exact same way. Only thing different is they're all blue with an LV on the back. of them.
Wow.
They $700. So don't. How dare you?
Right.
That's hypocritical. Matter of fact, that shows our deep self-hatred.
Mm-hmm.
That you can point and condemn a black man for charging for a product that he makes that's high quality, but you ain't said nothing to Prada. You haven't said nothing to Gucci.
Right.
You haven't said nothing to Rock Revival for selling jeans for $400.
Right.
True Religion
Right.
selling jeans for $500 and $600.
Oh, it's ridiculous.
The Robbins jeans.
Right.
Sprinkles all over your pants for $1,200. I seen a Versace tank top on the internet for $400.
Yes, sir.
I seen the dude. What's the white boy on
Tank top.
the Voice? What's Adam?
Adam Levine.
Levine?
Maroon 5. Yeah.
He had a tore up T-shirt. I could have got me a regular old Hanes 32, straight from Walmart, and washed it twice and cut it up for $2.
Oh my goodness.
Man, I found out that man's shirt cost $500.
Wow.
But nobody's condemning them.
At all.
So, it's a good thing. I would hope that the brothers would reach maximum success and become billionaires doing for self.
Yes, sir.
Because let's suppose he says, you know what? I'm going to go buy me a factory.
Right.
I'm going to make my own shoes.
Yeah, he
How
talking
many
about
black
that. He
people
talking
could be
about that
employed
warfare
making
now.
Jordan brand right now?
Right.
See, think about that
Right.
for a second. And I heard that he's interested in possibly doing not an endorsement deal, but a collaboration.
Mm-hmm.
So he ain't going as a slave.
Right.
here's my name. How much you pay me for use my name? Make me a logo. I'll give you. All right, I'll sign.
Right.
He's going saying, I got the shoe, I got the design, I got it. You want this? Cut me that check for $1 billion,
Yes, sir.
and you can be a co-partner of mine.
Mm.
So, I applaud the brother because he's showing us that we don't have to be a $40 million slave.
That's right.
Like most
That's
athletes are. We can come into this thing and do it for what it's worth. Do you know how many black people in America are estimated trying to be in the NBA? When the math was done, Dr. Jawanza Kunjufu said that there's 10 million black boys trying to get into the NBA.
Wow.
10 million.
Wow.
Out of those 10 million black boys, only 3,500 of them will ever play college ball.
Wow.
Out of the 3,500 that play college ball, only, y'all ready for this?
Come on.
Only 35 of them will make it to the NBA.
1%.
Out of the 35 that make it to the NBA, only 7 of them will get a starting job.
Wow.
So we got 10 million black children competing every day for 7 full-time jobs.
Man.
And when we go into the
Wow.
NBA, they don't tell us, but the average career of an athlete in the NBA is 3 to 5 years.
Mm.
What are you going to do for the rest of your life if you only got a 3 to 5
Wow.
year career? Even if you get the 10 or the 12 years of the NFL or NBA contract, you leave out of there at 33 years of age, what are you going to do for the rest of your
Wow.
life if you don't have something better in your mind other than running, jumping, and dunking?
Wow.
So, I'm applauding these brothers because what they're doing, they're putting themselves in a position to have a legacy
Yes, sir.
and to be able to create industry and infrastructure for their family and their people. Keep up the good work, mighty
Absolutely,
soldiers.
man, and I agree 1,000%.
Come down on the price a little bit, or make make another version.
Right,
of it
right.
that we might be able to jump in.
The hood version.
Yeah, and
the hood edition.
Yeah, we'll get them. You got the Jordan and then you got the jump man. You got
Right.
the baller and now you got just the regular ball.
Right.
Just give me the regular ball version.
Or the baby baller brand.
Yeah, something.
Oh man, so just pick that issue up, everybody.
That's
like
right.
I said, pick it up from one of the mighty FOI, and some brother was on the stream. Brother Afsar hit the stream and said they down at Brother Jeff's Cultural Center and Cafe right now, so you can get some tickets to the event tomorrow. If you run down there, that's at 2836 Welton Street. For those of you who do not know. But the brothers have tickets, they have flyers, they have Final Call newspapers, and they're down at Brother Jeff's right now, getting it in. And shout out to Brother Jeff and all of those who are with him. Brother Jeff does a Black Dollar Saturdays at his cafe every week, where he allows vendors to come into his space. Get this, are y'all ready? I'm about to pump it up. He allows them to come in for free.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he allows them to come in for free and sell their wares, just to facilitate and to push black economic growth and supporting black businesses.
That's
So
right.
shout outs to Brother Jeff. I hope to see you inshallah tomorrow at the event, brother, and all of those who are with you and all of those
That's
who are
right.
helping you.
And we need more of that.
Absolutely.
We've been trained into thinking individualistic as a people. We have to get back into the concept that we had before we were kidnapped. Whenever a boy was going to become a man or a girl was going to become a woman, we had a procedure that was called the rites of passage.
Yes, sir.
Which means that you didn't just become a man because you were 18 or 21, or a woman because you were 18 and 20. You had to prove you had certain
Right.
skill sets, certain knowledge, and a certain amount of courage. So you would have to perform an act of valor. Sometimes it meant going out, killing a lion, dragging him back to the village.
Right.
I don't think y'all heard all this shit.
Come on, brother.
The brother that just won the
Come on.
marathon recently in the Olympics, he is from Kenya, and he went back home and said, "Hey, this just got to be a better way for us to do this
Right.
rites of passage than going to kill a lion You know, so he's got a new thing he's trying to propose to the elders. Look, can they run me a couple races or something?
Right.
This is getting a little dangerous now.
Right.
You know, to be a man, I got to go kill the lion. It's a little rough. Sometimes they walked across 2,000 degrees of heat for 200 feet, burning coals, and they did it.
Wow.
And they were successful. Of
Yes,
course, there
sir.
was some, you know, COWs, casualties of war.
Right.
But one of the things that we learned, not only act of valor, but we had to prove we knew something as a woman about being a mother and a wife and a father and a husband if you were a man. But the other thing we did is that if the container or the trainer was among us and it was 30 or 40 in the potential graduation class, they would give each one of them a twig that represented themselves.
Right.
And they would ask them if they could break it. All of the individuals would easily snap the twig. Then they would give them a number of twigs that represented their graduating class.
Right.
So if it was 40, here's 40 twigs
Right.
for you. Then you took it. Can you break it? No. Pass it on.
Right.
They passed it through the whole group, and what they found is that none of them could break all the twigs when they were
Right.
together. The message that the elders were trying to tell us is that when you're alone, any outside force
Right.
can break you easy.
Yes, sir.
But whenever we are operating in unity, there's no power outside of us that can break us.
Beautiful.
So, Brother Jeff, you keep up the good work.
Yes, sir. Praise.
And we've been to maybe we went to 50 cities last year and 60 cities the year before that, pushing the message, and we've probably been to 25, 30 this year already.
Yes, sir. Praise be to
And
Allah.
in every city, we're noticing that black people are starting to get a little bit more care and love for themselves, and business is starting to pick up among
Right.
our people. So
Yes.
this is a time now for us to start a renaissance in the black community.
Absolutely.
And let's not have one black Wall Street
Right.
that we can brag about in 1921 in Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Right.
Let's get some black Wall Streets in every major city in the United States of America.
That's a beautiful thing.
We can do it. We got the mind and we got the money. We just have to have the will and the love for one another,
Yes,
and then
sir.
we'll have it.
Absolutely. Man, again, 1,000%, brother. And the other thing, man, that we have to start doing is we really have to start celebrating black business.
That's
You
right.
know what I mean? Just like, and I saw the awards program in the final call last year, the final call that they did in Chicago, Sister Cassiopeia and the rest of those
Mhm.
people with the Black Mall. And if you're
Yes.
not, get on the blackmall.com, you know, nationally, you know what I'm saying? But it's just a beautiful thing to celebrate black business, because we have to get into the mindset, Brother Nuri, you're absolutely right, of doing for self, and not that being a option, but being the option.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? The black man must do for self, or else we never gonna get ourselves out of the condition that we're in.
That's right. And you don't want to see. Not only are you working for your enemy, not only are we investing in the upholding of white supremacy. The Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan said this. He said we cannot build a nation after work.
Right.
So there has to be something about what we're doing while we're working that has a nation building component to it. Otherwise, we're going to continue to be marking time and taking too long to make the progress
Right.
we must make as a people. It should be something in our mind and our heart that makes us want to be, as a grown man or a grown woman, doing for ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna suggest this, and I know you know this, Brother Herman, well, because you are a business owner. That don't get into business so you don't have to work as much as
Right.
you used to work.
Right.
If you don't want to work a 9 to 5, you better be prepared to hustle 24/7.
Exactly.
Because it's
Exactly.
harder doing business for yourself than it is working
Absolutely.
for the white man.
Absolutely.
You have to be willing to work hard.
Absolutely.
And in fact, work harder for
Right.
you than you did. Because you know,
Say
on a
that.
white man's job, what makes it easy for people not to quit is that if we kept it real, most of us do 2 hours of work, but we're there for 8 hours.
Right.
But when you're doing for self,
You can't do that.
no, you can't do 2 hours of work in an 8 hour. You gotta do 8 hours of work in a 2 hour period. So you gotta work hard because you don't have no sick days, no,
Oh,
you know,
my
you
goodness.
can't call in, you don't get no special vacation time, and no, you got to make your own 402M, not no 401k. You got to have your own
Yes,
program.
sir.
So,
Yes, sir.
but that's what gives you pride. And to the men that are listening, to the men that are online, you and I as men have a built-in internal guidance system. We have a built-in guidance system inside of ourselves that is based upon who we are or what we do, and how much we make doing it. And if the what we are is based on our character, our integrity, our honesty, then we feel good whenever we are doing something that is good, noble, and honorable. But the other thing is, what do we do? And whenever we know that we are taking care of ourselves, I remember the first time I bought a brand new vehicle. I bought a Jeep Cherokee. I was 20 years old, but I bought it not working for a white man,
Right.
not clocking in. I bought it doing for self.
Right.
I was soldiering
Man.
the Final Call newspaper and other products. And as I was out in the field, I was able to go and purchase off the showroom floor a brand new automobile
Right.
for me and my family. And I had bought a car a year before that. And when I bought the car a year before that, I was working a job
Right.
for the white man. And I remember I felt all right doing it.
Right.
But when I bought that Cherokee,
Right.
knowing that I bought this with my own sweat
man.
equity,
Beautiful thing.
I felt good about it.
Man.
So I'm saying that, brothers that are in the viewing audience, that we have a built-in internal guidance system that tells us
Go ahead.
it's our self-validation system. Lets us know whether we have the right to be proud of ourselves. And it's what we do, it's what we are,
Mm-hmm.
and it's how much we get paid doing what we do.
Oh man.
And if we are an honorable person, that's the what.
Man.
If we are doing for self, that's the best what to do.
Yes.
And if we begin generating good revenue that we can take care of ourselves and our family doing for self and being honorable, then you have inside of you the highest expression of self-validation. You walk the earth with not just confidence, but with Godfidence.
Man. Praise be to Allah.
So let's do it.
Yes, sir. Let's get it done. And again, I bear witness, brother. I bear witness. This year, by the grace of Allah, we're celebrating. Y'all ready? 20 years of being in business at Supreme Style Barbershop.
Oh,
20
man.
years. You know what I'm saying? And I watch all these devil's businesses fall, brother, and I was like, you know, it kind of makes you stick your chest out, you know what I'm saying? Because you're doing something with the work of your own hand, and
That's
you're doing
right.
for self, raising children, you know, taking care of your wife. It's a beautiful, beautiful
That's
thing.
right.
So what Brother Nuri is saying, man, is absolutely 100% right. And look, I'm having such a good time. I can go all day, but I don't want to abuse, brother. We already over time.
Yeah, trying to kill me in there.
We already over time. We
I mean,
way
I was
over
gonna say
time, brother. But I'm
Mubarak.
just having a good time.
Say
I'm
Ramadan.
like, man, I don't want to let my brother go, but
This is day that I done did a lecture this morning,
Right.
a question and answer session, an interview.
Right.
Now we on the radio.
Now
Trying to
we
go to
getting
an
it in.
event.
Now
I
we
did a
go-
book signing already.
all that
Then
all
tomorrow
that.
we got to double up. Y'all make sure y'all come to the mosque tomorrow.
at 10 a.m.
At 10 a.m. Our subject tomorrow is Islam, not as seen on TV.
Yes, sir. Praise be to Allah.
Right here, and then we see
So
y'all
10
at 2 o'clock.
a.m. tomorrow. Please be here, man. Be my honored guest. And look, this is what I want from all of you out there listening and watching right now. Tomorrow happens also to be, it's a special day for me. It's a special day for my mother because it's the anniversary of my birth.
Oh,
So for
man.
for my birthday, for my born day, you know, you ain't gotta get me nothing. I'm gonna call my mama. You know, I'm gonna go over
Yeah,
there and
that's
give her a
right.
hug and a kiss and some love.
That's how
But
you do it.
to celebrate my birthday, let's all meet at this event, 900 Auraria Parkway at the Tivoli Turn Hall, and let's turn this thing up and let's really start doing for self
Yes, sir.
afterward. Because it's just like 10, 10, 15. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't 10, 10, 15 that was important, right?
Yeah.
And I heard you say this, brother.
Yeah,
Nuri,
10,
it was
10,
10,
15
11.
is important, but 10, 11 is critical.
Exactly. So tomorrow's gonna be important, but the next day is gonna be critical in
That's
regards to what we do in terms of doing for self. Man, I want to shout out to my brother Nuri. Thank you again, brother.
My
Appreciate
pleasure,
you,
my
brother,
honor.
for coming
Thank
to
you,
the
Brother
city.
Herman, for
My
having
big
me.
brother Lamar over there holding it down. That's my guy right there. Strong soldier. And everybody else watching, man, I know we didn't get to acknowledge everybody. We covering some very crucial information, but I just want to give you a shot of the event one more time. Tomorrow at 2 o'clock, doors open at 1. The Tivoli Turn Hall, 900 Auraria Parkway, that's in Denver. The numbers that you need to call, they're there. The subject is pooling our resources from begging to building, from nothing to nation. Man, again, it's been an honor. Remember, if you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything. And love y'all. Peace. We out. We'll see y'all tomorrow.
No one can make an intelligent decision without being properly
I see you in the house. I
informed.
know y'all can still hear me.
This is why this world wants to